So let's talk about the Bulls, their situations, and how they're looking right now. In my opinion, the Bulls are a great team, and they've been a team which has just been confused for a while in terms of what to do, how are they going to execute their plans for the future, and what should they do for their franchise moving on to the next season. In my opinion, the Bulls are a team which have made the best out of their situation, and this has come from a bunch of different reasons, but it comes mostly from the fact that the Bulls have, never really realized what they wanted to do, right? Sometimes they want to be the best team in the league, sometimes they want to dominate, sometimes they want to, be awesome. But other times you notice it that it seems like they want to go into a rebuild. And this is mostly due to their stars, right? Their two stars are Zach Lavine and Demar right? They're two phenomenal players, and both of them really, complement each other in terms of scoring and how effortless they make each other's games because having Zach Lavine on the court instantly makes DeMar DeRozan get easier looks, and that happens with any range of superstars would shoot jump shots. We see it with Kawhi and PG. We see it with Devin Booker and KD, where it's like when you have another star which requires defenders to be right there with them, right? It makes it for a more, easy. It makes it easier to get better shots. But when we're really talking about the Bulls, we talk about what things have they done to be better, right? I'm sorry, but if we look at the Bulls, they're one of these teams where they have proven absolutely nothing when it comes to the fact that this team is a winning team. They have Zach Lavine, which they've shown that is the superstar which they want, right? Now they're thinking about trading him, but he's been their superstar for forever. In my opinion, last season he had his best season of all time by far. Even though he didn't score the most, it was the one season where we saw him play his style of play effectively and to play a lot of games, as Zach Lavine normally doesn't play many games. And this was due to the fact that apart from his 2021 All Star run, which statistically was just insane, he looked like a real superstar that season. But apart from that 2021 run, this season really just showed his strengths very well. He played 77 games and started all of them. And in my opinion, it was a very good season for Zach Lavine as his career neutralizes. But when we're really talking about the Bulls, we just have to talk about who is around their players. First, I want to start with Lonzo Ball because even though, yes, he did have a big situation, he is still a phenomenal player, right? And we could still see Lonzo Ball as a contributor in this league. The only thing is that I hope I'm sending my prayers out to Lonzo Ball because he's had a really bad leg injury for them. And in my opinion, that makes it extremely difficult because when they had Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, Nikola Vucevic, Lavine, and DeRozan as their starting lineup, or at least as those when they played those five guys, they had one of the best ratings in the league, And it was mostly due to Lonzo and the way that he could make for others, play defense, and be there every night with a consistent player which didn't just have to score. I also like Ayo Dosunmu. He's a second year guy for them who has really shown out. And in my opinion, he's been one of these guys which, his most famous highlight is this game winning buzzer beater that he had last year, where he laid the ball in after someone in the team had missed it. And in my opinion, that just shows who he is. He's a player which is always there. He's always looking to make something happen. He's always helping the team in any way that they need to be helped. And he's one of these players who just makes the game easier for everyone around him, right? So I like him too. But the biggest problem with the Bulls is their structure, you know? The Bulls are a team which have consistently been a middle of the pack team, and it just doesn't seem like they know what they want. They have superstars which any team would desire, right? Like Zach Lavine, imagine him in a team like Miami, right? They would trade for him in an instant if they can't get Damian Lillard, right? Or imagine DeMar DeRozan in a team, even if he goes back to Toronto, which is what they need. They need a scoring push. That would be phenomenal, right? But the problem with the Bulls is that they don't know if they want to rebuild or if they want to keep doing what they've been doing for the past few seasons, which is just, try to win. And even if we don't have enough pieces to win, we're just going to force it. And in my opinion, this doesn't work. The Bulls have been extremely good, for the past. They've had Michael Jordan, they've had Derrick Rose. But now it's like, who do you trade? In my opinion, one thing that I didn't like is that they gave Vucevic a contract, even though it was a very cheap contract, and they got him for they got him for his value. I do not think that the Bulls should have been the team to pay him. I understand that losing him for nothing would have been worse, but I think that Vucevic is a negative contributor, and he's a big man who doesn't protect the paint. All he does is play offense, and he's kind of just beefy, and he'll just play the minutes to play them. He's not really overly competitive, and he's done enough in the NBA for him to obviously feel satisfied. He's a walking double double who shoots efficiently, but he had the best year of his career last year because it was a contract year. Like last year, he played all 82 games, right? He started all 82 games, and he was a walking double double effectively. But I don't think that Vucevic is that player, right? He's never shot that well from the field. He hasn't shot that well from the field in the past 8 years, and he's a player which I know what he wants. All he wants is to get a good contract. All he wants is to be in the NBA. But Vucevic just wants his contract. And finally, for the Bulls, I feel like the worst thing about them is that they have no luck. And this is something that I'm going to finish off with. I feel like the Bulls, they even though they have no direction and they have, they don't really know what they want because they're not good enough to win, but they want to win. In my opinion, their strongest setback is the fact that they have no luck. The Bulls are one of these teams which have been blessed, right, by having good players, by having good pieces, but they have no luck. The players around them are not good enough to get you to the top, but they're not bad enough for the fact for you to just be able to let them go because they're playing horribly. And none of their role players have, pushed through. They have young guys like Derrick Jones Jr. and Patrick Williams and Dalen Terry and Kobe White, which they were expecting to be great, but they weren't. And I think that that's been the Bulls' tales throughout the years. The Bulls have been a team which, even though they don't know where they want to go or what they want to do with their future, because it seems like they want to contend, but they also want to be good for the future. They have also had no luck with their drafts. They've gotten great draft picks. They've gotten players like Patrick Williams, which were supposed to be superstars or at least great players in this league. And they have players like Derrick Jones Jr., Kobe White, which were also supposed to be at least good contributing players. But for the Bulls, that hasn't been the case. And consistently, we have to see the Bulls every year struggle. In my opinion, I don't know what they're going to do. They should rebuild, if I'm being honest. But maybe that's not the best thing right now, and they should push one more season of winning so that when DeRozan contracts ends, you could trade him to another team on a sign and trade and make that adjustable for yourself.